So there was an objection that she came up with that she had to really talk to her sons before she made a decision. And so there was something I didn't do because I didn't have that objection ahead of time to know that she wanted to talk to her sons. I mean, it was about the whole idea that she wasn't wanting to wait until December, but it was an objection that came up before I even got, before we even really closed. So, because I wanted to make sure that she had a sense of urgency in doing this. So I kind of got it on the back end because it was kind of implied. And she did say it, but I didn't do a good job or a great job of finding out if there was going to be that objection in the beginning that she was going to say she has to talk it over with her sons or things like that. So I'm kind of trying to deal with the objection now than I did before.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but I can't. I can't do it this month because I already got my bills paid for this month. So
you don't have to do this.
Yeah, when that comes around, then, it'll be just what I said with my sons.
Yeah, it's not something that you have to do this month. You can always future pay for the coverage.
I just like before I do anything, I always talk to my sons.
If your boys were here, what do you think they would say?
They probably would say yes.
You know them better than anybody would.
Right.
And why do you think they would say yes, though?
Because I've always told them, even with themselves, to have their ducks in a row.
Right.
Not to count on, other people. I've just seen it go bad so quickly with that kind of situation my whole life, and I don't like that.
And I know you know them now. If they somehow, some way said, "Hey, Mom, we don't think that whole idea of having something in place that we can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they take care of everything. They price shop. We don't think that makes sense. We don't think having the funds in 24 hours is a good idea. We just don't think none of that is good." And they say, "Mom, it's not a good idea." What would you do then?
I'm not sure because I don't think they're that stupid. I know my boys.
What if that day they woke up on the stupid side of the bed and they said, "Yeah, Mom, that's not a good idea"? What would you do then?
I would have to figure out stuff for myself.
So it sounds like if it was something that you would do anyway, regardless of what they said, would it make sense to get something in place? And then if they said no, or they said yes, and they could help you out, that it'd be better just to have something in place that's already starting for you than to go to them fresh without anything?
Possibly. But like I said, it wouldn't be until the end of next month.
And I'm not.
So her objection isn't about them. It's really about, well, actually, I found out it's not even about them. It's not even about waiting till next month. It's not even about that. So I'm trying to dig deeper and find out what it really is, because what she's saying is that she wants to talk to them first. That's not the real objection. Okay. So I'm dealing with the real objection. I'm dealing with the fake objection as I want to talk to my boys, right? That's the fake objection. Now, one of the things that I want to kind of do is one of the things that I would typically do is I would go back and find out, is this, forget about all of the costs, forget about talking to your boys, forget about getting a policy. Is this something that you want to do? She would say, yes, this is something I want to do. Why is this something you want to do? Then she would tell me why it's something she wanted to do. And then, so based off of what you're telling me, if the cost wasn't an issue, it would be something that you would want to do because of A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Is that right? And then she would say whatever she would say. So I'm going through that process. I kind of sped through it a little bit because I didn't say it, but I kind of got to this point. So maybe it was a happy accident. I don't know. So listen.
I'm not telling you can't do that. I'm just asking questions. Put all that aside. Put the money aside. And saying you could have coverage on yourself in your month-long search, and now you have gotten something on yourself that's going to take care of not only you in your death, but your boys after you pass.
Yeah. But let me ask you a question about the health. Isn't it better? I mean, like I said, I don't know all the specific big long terms of my health issue, but would you be able to get something from the doctor so you can see the specifics? Because I don't want to miss something and then all of a sudden say, well, you didn't tell us this, so it's canceled.
All right. Her real objection. If I give you all my medication, or if they find out I'm on a certain medication, are they going to cancel me? That's her real objection. That's the real issue. So we went through everything, and then now we're finding out it wasn't her boys. It wasn't waiting to a few months. I'm afraid that if I get coverage and they find out what I have, will they turn me down and cancel my policy?
No. See, your medication, what I did was, so here.
I have all my meds here if you want the names of all of them.
I told her, listen, unless you're telling me you have this one particular condition, that's the only reason you'd be turned down. She said, I don't have that, but she was still concerned. So the end result was this. I said, well, let's go ahead and list all your medication. She was on 11 different medications. And once she listed them all, and I told her it's not an issue, she was better. Okay, so let's fast forward. This did turn into a sale, and let's go to the very, very end.
Yes.
Oh, what that I have. Thank you for your visit. I'll forward the email at the end of our call.
Thank you.
All right, so that was the end of the call, and she got pre-approved. She got approved, basically, and she gave her banking information. So I just wanted to kind of show you just the way you can get through everything, working with all the objections, dealing with the objections in the beginning, and then going to the end, finding out the real objection, overcoming that objection. So there was about 4 objections I think she gave me. She wanted to wait. She wanted to talk to her boys. She doesn't do anything without talking to her boy. I guess it's the same. So I guess it was maybe 2 objections that we really had to overcome in order for her to get through it. And then she actually finally finished out with a policy.
Thank you for your business. Have a pleasant rest of your day.
Okay.
You too. All right. Congratulations. So I do have to tell you, the reason why I was trying to get you to move forward.
So I'm going to tell her, I did want to tell you her birthday's tomorrow. So obviously it would have cost more tomorrow, but we got her in the door before tomorrow. She did thank me and say, well, thank you. I appreciate you doing that for me, because we're going to get her the lower price because tomorrow, of course, the premium would increase if she did it tomorrow. So bottom line, taking them through the whole process. I'm going to tell you, in the beginning of this process, when I first started, I was like, man, this is going to be a long process. But check this out. If I could talk to less people and close more deals, to me, it makes so much more sense. Because at the end of the day, I was able to write coverage for her, getting through the policy, going through the discovery, finding out what she wanted, then going through the actual education stage, because she didn't know a lot. And a lot of your clients don't know a lot. They don't know the difference between term and whole life. They don't know the fact that if you have a health situation, that it's going to be a lot more challenging for you to get coverage, and you're going to pay more because you're a higher risk. She didn't understand that. So taking her through that process and letting her understand, get educated, was more than what she's ever gotten. So I believe that she appreciated that more. So that way we were able to get her in before December. You know what I mean? That didn't even make sense to me. December, you want to wait till December. So that was an objection. She didn't want to do it she wanted to do it close to next year. So we overcame at least 3 of those objections and then was able to get her a policy in place. All right. Hopefully this is helpful, and hopefully you will join me. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much. Again, this is Will with Mastering Final Expense Without Knocking a Single Door. Peace.